This week on Hooligan Nation, it's time for the death match. This week we pit the mighty Love Gun versus the disco inferno that is Dynasty. My favorite KISS album versus Father Rocco's favorite album. Stay tuned, because you got
nothing to lose.
Don't you think you should do that in a disco voice? Like,
do it in disco voice.
Yeah. You know, I go, because you got, and you go, nothing to lose. No?
I give it a try. Go ahead. Do this again.
No? Oh, okay. Because you got
nothing to lose.
Gotcha.
You wanted the best. Well, they retired. So you got two dudes in a garage.
Talking KISS.
Welcome to the Hooligan Nation, a KISS-Centric Podcast, a podcast where the riffs are loud, but our opinions are louder. I'm Anthony.
I'm Rocco.
I thought you were Rocco having a seizure. What's up, hooligans?
What's up?
How you doing, Father Rocco?
Doing pretty good.
Thank you. Thank you. Boy, do we have a good one this week. We're about to go to battle. Did you stretch? Did you warm up?
I'm ready to roll.
I'm telling you, man, I got weapons laid out all in front of me. We're going to have a death match. Love Gun versus Dynasty. Oh, I can't wait for this. I can't wait. I'm so excited about this that I decided to wear my Dynasty shirt. To be fair to you, even though I'm representing Love Gun, and Love Gun and me is going to kill you and Dynasty. But to be fair and to be kind, I'm going to do it while wearing my Dynasty shirt.
I think it's subliminally, I think you just realized that that one is going to be basically going to be doing a little checkmate.
There is no chance of that. And on top of that,
listen, you're already wearing my colors.
But on top of that, I know that even if I lose in the podcast, I will win in the hooligans' public opinion. There is no way that more hooligans like Dynasty than like Love Gun. There's no chance in that.
Right. I'm going to make a statement.
You make whatever statement you want.
I love our fellow hooligans, but I like what I like, bro. Regardless of how we do on this thing, Dynasty's always been my favorite.
That's great. That just means you're wrong.
No, pack a lunch there, Jethro.
Jethro. Well, all right. Ain't nobody ever called
I told
me
you,
Jethro.
it pops in and out. I don't know where that came from.
So strap up, hooligans, because we're going to fight to the death today. But before that, we have news, music we're listening to, and of course, our weekly poll. But first, last episode recap, KISS at the Kennedy Center. Do you have anything that you would like to add?
Yeah, it's about time that I said it before. I'll say it again. It's about time that they're one of the first. They're never first in line for anything. They're always the last ones to get credit for anything from the masses. And honestly, that's what I like most about it. You got what? Led Zeppelin, bands like them. You got Zeppelin, you got
The Who,
and you got KISS, and everybody else has to fall in line after them. It's about time that they're at the top of the line.
Yep, the Metallicas of the world, the Bon Jovis of the world, all
rightfully will follow KISS.
Right. Yep, and they should follow them.
Absolutely.
Because they were an influence over all of them. News. You got any news?
I do. I have a lot of one specific news. I didn't follow this band. I did listen to some music after I heard this because a friend of mine is a big fan of Mastodon. I think Mastodon. They've actually been around for a while. The reason it's noteworthy, Brett Hines passed away recently from a motorcycle accident. He was only 51 years old. I did listen to some stuff. He's really really good guitar player. If you go on Loudwire, actually, if you go anywhere right now, Blabbermouth, Loudwire, it's in all the news. There's some statements from Bill Kelleher, who was one of the band members with him, fellow guitar player. It basically says how he learned so much from him. Talked about Brett Hines' personality, very interesting personality, and I'm just going to say rest in peace, and my condolences to him and his family.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. And this one hits home a little differently. I'm not a big Mastodon fan or anything, but he did die in a motorcycle crash at 51 years old. I unfortunately have put a motorcycle down, and I can tell you it's not fun, and it kind of sticks with you. So for all of our motorcycle riders out there, be safe out there. Keep your head on a swivel. Anybody that doesn't know, Megadeth announced that 2026 they will embark on their farewell tour. If you're a Megadeth fan, take that for however you want to take it. I mean, I'm old enough to not believe anybody's farewell tours at this point, but I really don't care. I mean, if you need to announce a farewell tour to sell tickets, knock yourself out. I don't really care. I'm going to go either way, and I will go see Megadeth next year just in case. Because it's Dave Mustaine, it is possible that he will drop the mic and walk away and probably move to somewhere like Idaho and be one of those recluses. I like Megadeth. Megadeth at this point is Dave Mustaine's solo band, but I like Dave. I like his music. I like him. He's an interesting person because he's another one of those guys that just doesn't have a filter.
You like his voice though?
Yeah, I do. I do. I don't. Maybe wait till we get to music we're listening to. I'm about to throw. It's not even a curveball. I'm gonna throw a spitball that's covered in Vaseline. That's all. I mean, and I can't answer why I like it, but I started. I'll explain when we get to music we're listening to. I have one more little news piece. This is kind of funny. This is really about the world we live in more than it's about anything. I think it's a week or two ago, rumors started to run around social media and the internet. Oh, shocker, rumors, social media, the internet, that Tico Torres, the drummer of Bon Jovi, was retiring. And my first thought was, well, Tico really doesn't have anything to retire from because as far as I know, Bon Jovi still isn't really doing anything big because I don't know that John Bon Jovi can sing night after night.
Right.
I mean, he can sing in the studio, but and I'm not knocking John Bon Jovi, but I'm pretty sure in 2025 with the technology, I can sing in the studio. Right? I mean, what you can do with computers and everything else. I'm pretty sure I can sing in the studio. And singing's only part of it. Somebody's got to write the song, somebody's got to write the lyrics and the music and everything else. So I'm not knocking John Bon Jovi for the Bon Jovi fans that are going to lose their mind. But today I was, doing what I do and searching around, and that little piece of rumor has been jumping everywhere. And today I found a video that Tico Torres felt the need to put out, completely debunking him retiring. And literally said, I'm not retiring. I'm not the retiring type. I'm not going to retire. Now, if you want to call Tico Torres a liar, have at it. But if Tico Torres is telling the truth, this is a lesson for all of us to learn. Man, you got to confirm everything you see on social media and the internet. And look, ain't nobody paying us for this. We try. Like, I try to get at least two sources before I put anything out that's going to stir up the hornet's nest. There is much bigger podcasts than us, much bigger news agencies than us that report on this stuff and have perpetuated this rumor to the point where Tico Torres feels the need to put it out, and not only to put it out, but one of the platforms, or the platform that he put it out, was Bon Jovi's official social media, which means that somebody, John Bon Jovi, had to call Tico up and say, hey, you got to put a video out debunking this because this rumor is running. That's wild to me. I mean, it's one thing if it was true and John Bon Jovi called Tico Torres up and said, hey, the cat's out of the bag, dude. Like, you got to make an announcement. Now we have to make announcements debunking rumors that clearly were created by the internet. Like, I can't believe that someone at Bon Jovi's stature, of Tico Torres' stature, has to actually come out and debunk these rumors because they run so rapidly that everybody starts believing them. Well, because I saw it here and I saw it there and I saw it at 5 different places, so it must be true. Where did you see
You know
it?
what?
Where are the 5 places?
There's good and bad in everything. And unfortunately, the AI world, the internet world, like all this stuff, you know, there are some benefits from some, like what's that, Chat GPT? Like there's so many good things with some of the technology and even in social media, but there's so much negative too. Like it's, I guess you got to take the good with the bad.
And it's our fault. It is our fault as fans. Number one, we're the ones that perpetuate these rumors. And number two, we are the ones that read it and buy it, even though it comes from nowhere. I mean, these things literally come from nowhere. It's some dude that's living in his mother's basement at 55 years old. That's a keyboard warrior that's like 4 beers in and goes, hey, let's see if I can get this one to run. And we allow it to run because
I think it's just weird
we
that,
buy
like,
it.
Yeah, but I think it's just weird. Like to me, wouldn't you consider it like as a group? I just found it weird because I saw the same thing. I just find it weird that Tico Torres, like the guy in Bon Jovi, like it's one thing if you're saying Bon Jovi's retiring. Because when you think of that, you're thinking of the whole group. But Tico Torres, like, is it really drawing that much interest that him specifically is? I just found it odd to me. His response, the response that he had from what the little bit that I read of it, sounded like he was angry.
I think I would be angry if I was him also. I do. Anybody that knows anything about Bon Jovi, at least this is my take on it. Tico Torres and David Bryan are the they're the only 2 original members left. Those 2, the way it appears to me, are so loyal to John. They're not doing anything like that unless John knows about it first. And John Bon Jovi, and the history of Bon Jovi, runs that business tight. It's a tight ship. So if you're a Bon Jovi fan, even if you're not a Bon Jovi fan and you read this and you were like, oh, Tico's gonna retire. No, that to me, that's not the way anything like that would ever come out.
Yeah.
They would get in a room with publicity people, and there would be a plan, and he runs, and I think I've said this before, and I'll fight anybody to death about this. John Bon Jovi runs Bon Jovi like the mafia, and he's the boss. And you either get in line under him or you don't, Richie Sambora. It's just that simple. So there's no way that things like that are going to squeak out unless John Bon Jovi wants it to squeak out. And that's not something that he would ever want to squeak out from somewhere. So no, I don't buy it. Music we're listening to. What you got?
I got a few things. Today, actually, I was listening to Kingdom Come. I remember them from back in the day. They're kind of like a Led Zeppelin. They're not a cover band, but they do a lot of everything they do sounds like Led Zeppelin. At least the album that I was listening to. And I remember from back in the day, I went to Monsters of Rock concert, and they opened up, and then it was Dokken, Guns N' Roses, Van Halen, Scorpions, Metallica. It was an awesome show. And Kingdom Come really hooked me. They were really good. So I've been listening to a little bit of them, and I've been listening to Avenged Sevenfold. It was recommended to me. The song "Hail to the King." It's the first time I heard it, and the guitar.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, the guitar.
Oh, I love it. Oh my God.
So I've been listening to that. Nightmare, Afterlife, and So Far Away. And so far, it's stuff that I think I may have heard before, but I'm starting to dive into their catalog because I actually really like them.
Hail to the King is one of those workout playlist songs.
It's a good tune.
Oh.
And the guitarist, I love the guitaring. Love it.
I have something that is even shocking for me. The band is called Upon a Burning Body. Their new single is called Daywalker. It is not usually my kind of music, but once again, and I've done this once before, I got to thank Justin, one of our listeners. He sent this over to me, and I just decided I'd entertain him. And within the first 30 seconds, I was like, oh, I like this. And I moved on.
Victor likes
They,
it.
actually, I was going to ask Victor when I was talking to him today, and I forgot. They put out an EP in like 2020, and they have one other full-length album. And I listened to a lot of it, and I don't like all of it. But the song Daywalker, I do like. There's a couple other things I do like. And before you ask me, because I had to think about these things, because I know you're probably going to ask me, well, who do they sound like? They're kind of Linkin Park meets Slayer meets Five Finger Death Punch. Kinda.
See, that's what I don't like about the same thing with Five Finger Death Punch. Like musically, they're really good, but a lot of their stuff, I don't like the vocals.
I'm sorry for you because I love everything that.
I'll give you the music. Very good music.
I do not like everything that Slayer does. Actually, I like very little. But Five Finger Death Punch, I love. So anyway, Upon a Burning Body, the new single that just came out is called Daywalker. Check that out. And thanks, Justin, for making this one segment much easier for me. You know what time it is?
It must be poll time.
It's poll time. It's your turn.
Huh?
It's your turn.
To dance?
Yeah.
I don't dance in the poll. Hey. You're the
Wow.
pole dancer.
Wow, that was terrible.
I do the singing.
Ooh, that was terrible.
I need music. Throw some music on. I can dance.
Wow, 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 chicka, bow, wow, 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 chicka, bow,
Actually, you know what? We need specific. Hey, hooligans, throw out there. We need specific hooligan poll music.
Wait, I have it.
Huh? Huh?
I brought Vinny in for a second week. Anyway, our weekly polls can be found on our community tab and on our Facebook group. And if you're not a member of our Facebook group, you're missing out. That's me trying to get you to join our Facebook group.
Absolutely.
And before you go join our Facebook group, go to our website, which is right up there, and get yourself a Hooligan Nation coffee mug or a Hooligan Nation drink container or a Hooligan Nation t-shirt, sweatshirt, long sleeve shirt, hoodie, blah, blah, and blah. We really appreciate the support. So the poll question this week, with the recent announcement of KISS being nominated for the Kennedy Center Honors, which honor do you, the hooligans, think is bigger and more important to you, the fans? Your choices were the Hall of Fame, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, or the Kennedy Center Honors. Father Rocco, what say you?
To me, because of how much they've been disrespected by the Hall of Fame, as far as I'm concerned, it's not even close to Kennedy Center. It really warmed my heart to see that they got some love with that. I don't care who gave it to them. Like the biggest thing we went back and forth when we did that episode was, all the Donald Trump thing. It had nothing to do with Donald Trump as far as I'm concerned. It was all about it doesn't make a difference. The question I asked is, were they deserving of it? It could have been anybody doing that. I'm glad that he did do that because KISS deserved it. So to me, that's the biggest honor for me. I think it's one of the biggest honors they've ever gotten, and like I said, it warms my heart for it.
Look, to me, Donald Trump did have something to do with it.
I'm just saying I don't want it to be.
But who cares?
Why did I say that? Because how many podcasts are going nuts because
it's political.
How many KISS fans are going crazy because they don't like Trump and you know what? Not for nothing.
Absolutely.
He actually showed your band some love. Give me a break.
I don't care if and I'm going to be as politically correct as possible, which is a lot of times difficult for me. I don't care if Jeffrey Dahmer was president and nominated KISS for the Kennedy Center Honors. I don't care where it came from. I'd care less.
It's about the band.
And they're deserving.
Right.
They're deserving.
They are getting their due. That's all.
Yes.
It has nothing to do about which side we sit on it. I'm happy that KISS is in the front of the line. That's
well, we don't discuss this usually on the podcast. We try to stay away from politics because politics is divisive. But as far as where we stand, I can tell you right now, I stand in the middle. It just depends. I can jump from the right to the left, back to the right, back to the left. It depends on the subject, and it depends on the day, and it depends on what's going on.
I stand in the middle, but number one, I want to be safe.
I could care less whether it was Trump or Obama or Biden.
The only point I was making, like I said, is just that to keep the politics out of it, it's just nice to see that KISS is in the front of the line and getting their due. That's perfect. That's to me.
Perfect. I think that's the perfect statement. It's just nice to see. Period. Like, be done with it at that. Doesn't matter.
Whether I like Trump or I hate Trump, I'm giving him credit for acknowledging it.
So my next question is, what do you think the hooligans said?
Well, I will say that our hooligans are extremely intelligent people. So I would say...
Who's shilling now? Hooligans, you would be even more intelligent if you were drinking your coffee out of a Hooligan Nation coffee cup. This is known to add 10 IQ points.
Not for nothing, we should get some hooligan hats like this.
I'm working on it. Like that? No, we're not going to get it like that.
You don't like my hat, guys, so
no.
I like it. That's all that matters to me.
That's all that matters. Hey, you rock that shit, all right? Woo!
So I will say that the hooligans I think they're going to be with me because I think a lot of hooligans and in general KISS fans have felt disrespected all these years from KISS not getting in the Hall of Fame. So I think that it was. I think I'm going to go with the Kennedy definitely.
You know, I'm going to say this, and you don't have to buy a Hooligan Nation coffee cup for me saying this, but I think that this poll specifically really sent a message to me that our hooligans pay attention to more things. And I've said this before, and I do believe this. KISS fans don't miss anything. Like, they have dealt with Paul and Gene for 50 years. Like, if you're not on your A game, you're going to miss something and be made a fool. So when I put this poll out, one of the things I said to myself is people move too fast. The internet, there's too much information out there. I wonder how many people actually pay attention to what a shit show the Hall of Fame is. And then we get the results of this poll, which proves that KISS fans pay attention, because 24% said the Hall of Fame and 76% said the Kennedy Center Honors.
Yeah, I'm not really surprised by that. That makes sense to me.
Before, I was wondering, like, does the general public pay that kind of attention to, you know, the day-to-day goings on of everything?
Well,
and that answer to me, for at least for our audience, is a resounding yes. They do pay attention.
If you think about it, how many years gone by where you'd hear the nominees for it, and KISS was getting slighted, and this band's before him, and this band's before them, and this band's. I mean, come on! It got so disrespectful after a while. It was like absurd. That's why you know what? Paul tries to be contained the way he really feels, but that's one of the times when Paul kind of throws some shade and talks about it, that I feel justified. You know, 'cause sometimes I think Paul goes a little too far with things, but I kind of like his take on the whole thing.
Battleborn is a collaborative effort among like-minded individuals and organizations intent on repairing and restoring people who have served our country. We do this by delivering a unique level of support and guidance to those servicemen and women who have emotional and psychological wounds. We provide support directly and indirectly in collaboration with others in our community who value those who have served this nation and its communities. For more information, go to wearebattleborn.com. Are you ready?
I am ready.
The ultimate throwdown death match between my favorite album, Love Gun, and
my favorite album, Dynasty.
Yeah, okay. From Rock Anthems to Disco Fire. Here we go, hooligans. Do you want to start at the beginning, like always?
Yeah, I think the beginning is usually a pretty decent place to start.
Okay, I'm going to ask this in a question, because we're going to start keeping score from this point on. Record sales, what do you think sold more? I
would say probably Love Gun.
Okay. Do you think it was close?
No, because that was in their peak of their. Listen, the one thing I will tell you is, you know, when Dynasty's my favorite album for a lot of reasons, but there was also a transitional period they were in. So Love Gun was at their peak, so it's kind of hard to compare. It's kind of unfair to compare that, really. But you can try. You need to.
Did you say it's unfair to compare?
No. You need the help. It's cool.
I need the help, dude. You are the only person that is going to watch this podcast that thinks that I need help.
Sure.
You are the only person. Actually, I will prove this to you. Next week, the poll will be Love Gun vs. Dynasty, and there will be a zero. No, there won't be a zero there, because I'm sure you will put a vote in for Dynasty. There will be one vote for Dynasty.
All right, but you need to. Can you get in close? Can you focus with me?
Oh, okay.
Ask yourself a question. I'm going to give you these. I want you to repeat it. Ask yourself a question.
Ask myself a question.
Do you think I care?
Do you think I care?
Do you think I'm going to change the way that I feel about Dynasty?
No.
You think it's going to sway me in the least bit?
No, but I think the facts should sway you. That's what I think.
Whose facts are there? They don't apply to me.
No, dude. Facts aren't anybody's. They're facts.
But you can take the facts and you can put them aside, and I'll put my headphones on and I'll listen to Dynasty.
But the facts are the facts.
I don't care about that, but I'm saying I don't care. You can hold on to your facts.
This reminds me of...
Again, you're going to stats and numbers, and I don't give a shit about that.
This reminds me of Neil Peart.
Hurt.
No.
Hurt.
No. Hurt is a shampoo.
We don't even have to go there. I already won that one.
And I haven't bought shampoo in like 20 years.
I dropped that mic on you a long time ago on Hurt.
And you're about 3 hair losses away from not having to buy shampoo anymore either. But you got one badass hat on right now. Anyhow, record sales.
Get that shovel, keep digging.
Dynasty sold 1.3 million records. Love Gun sold 4 million records. 4 times platinum. 4.
This is a surprise face. Of course they did. They were at their peak right there.
1 point for Love Gun. Next question. Producer versus producer. The Godfather, Eddie Kramer, produced Love Gun. Vinnie Poncia produced Dynasty.
Yeah, you produced the most played song of all time.
Wait. Who's the better producer?
Huh?
Who's the better producer? Eddie Kramer or Vinnie Poncia?
What'd you say?
You heard me. It's okay. It's okay. We're not picking on you. Everybody knows the answer. Who's the better producer?
Go to the next question.
No, we can't.
If everybody knows the answer, we don't even have to go there.
Okay, so Eddie Kramer, so that's 2-0. Love Gun.
For this episode, I'm choosing Vinnie Poncia.
You're gonna choose Vinnie Poncia.
If I'm choosing Dynasty,
no, you have to choose.
Gun, I choose Dynasty.
To choose the honest answer. That's how we're going.
The honest answer is what he did on Love Gun, as opposed to what he did on Dynasty. I'll take Dynasty, as opposed to what Poncia did on Dynasty.
No, I asked you, who's the better producer?
Okay, that is not a fair comparison. It's not a fair comparison because Poncia has done an awful lot less of a catalog than Eddie Kramer has.
How do you know?
Look it up.
You did it. Just remember.
I know this for a fact. I know this part for a fact.
This is going to become a Neil Peart thing. Here we go, folks. We are currently looking up Vinnie Poncia because our favorite Father Rocco is not willing to say, yeah, Eddie Kramer is the better.
Let me just make a statement. Okay,
producer.
we are doing this. I'm not going to continue taking a beating in this thing. We're comparing the peak of the band's success album versus the album that I love. So I'm not going to just completely just take it. Okay?
Dude, one was put out in 1977. One was put out in 1979.
It was the peak of the band. It was the peak. It was their peak.
Oh, okay. It was their peak.
Right.
Well, no, actually, you know what? More than one hooligan will put in a comment that their peak was 1976. I guarantee you that. I guarantee you that more than one will say Destroyer and, well, no. Alive One and Destroyer was their peak. More than one will say that.
My point is they were at their best and they were at the top of the mountain when they were putting these albums out. So of course they're going to sell more. Of course.
No, okay, that's fine. I mean, there's no way to do this without bringing some kind of numbers in it.
Right.
That's
The stats are not fair.
But that's the only number, I think, in the entire episode is the record sales. I'm asking you, if you had to choose between producers, would you choose the guy that produced Dynasty and Unmasked, or would you choose the guy that produced a Live One, Rock and Roll Over, Love Gun, Jimi Hendrix? Like, who would you choose?
Okay, I'm gonna phrase it the way that it should be. I'm gonna choose the person. It's basically Dynasty versus Love Gun. So if I'm choosing the production value and producer of Dynasty as opposed to the production value and producer of Love Gun, I'm going to choose the producer of Dynasty versus the Love Gun. That's what the episode's about. Not about their history, not about their career. It's about the Love Gun versus Dynasty, and I will choose Dynasty.
Okay, let me ask you one more question and we'll move on. Do you think that Dynasty would have been a better album with Eddie Kramer producing it or Vinnie Poncia producing it?
I think it wouldn't have been, I don't think I would have liked it as much.
If Eddie Kramer produced it.
There's nothing I don't like about that album. You've heard me say that before. So I don't want anybody to touch it. I don't want anybody to change the way that album is. That's why out of all of the albums I've listened to with KISS, out of everything I ever heard from KISS, Dynasty is my top album. And who produced it?
Vinnie Poncia.
Right. So there's no comparison if you're doing that album versus that. It's a no-brainer for me.
Same guy that produced Unmasked. Hooligans. Let the record show.
I'm not giving. Listen, sophomore jinx, he blew it on Unmasked. But as far as Dynasty goes, he knocked it through the park. He had a grand slam.
Okay, so I'm not going to continue arguing. So it is 1-0 Love Gun. Because we can't agree. That's okay. Next, personnel versus personnel. This is unfair. Love Gun is a KISS record. Dynasty is 3 members of KISS with a session guy. Can we agree? Dun, 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 dun,
Sure, go ahead.
What?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, 2-0. Album cover versus album cover. Which one do you think's better? Ken Kelly versus Francesco Scavullo.
No, cover-wise, I like the Love Gun better.
3-0. Okay, now we get to the hard part. The music. I Stole Your Love versus I Was Made for Loving You.
I Was Made for Loving You.
Okay, can you tell us why?
Listen, I love I Stole Your Love, but it's not close. I Was Made for Loving You has set records on listening and hits and all that stuff. I Was Made for Loving You is one of the biggest songs that KISS ever made. I Stole Your Love is a great song in concert. It's a great stage song. It's a great song, period. But it doesn't measure up when it comes to the competition between the two.
So you don't even think it's close?
It's not close. I love that song. I love that song, but it's not close.
Dude, you don't understand. You are doing so much for me in the polls because I think you're crazy, but I could be wrong. I want to see, like, I can see your argument, especially when it comes to like things like downloads and popularity. There's no doubt. I think I Stole Your Love, my personal thoughts, is I Stole Your Love squeaks out ahead of I Was Made for Loving You.
You wouldn't be true to the Hooligans if you didn't say that, because that's your favorite song.
Yeah, but I could for the purposes of this, to me, it's better to be fair and admit just because it's my favorite song does not mean it's a better song. You understand what I'm saying? So nothing's going to change. I Stole Your Love is my
Listen, I mean,
favorite song.
you know damn well I hate numbers, I hate stats, I hate analytics, but I mean, this is one of those situations that pretty much, and that particular thing tells a story just like the time at KISS peaking and the sales. Numbers sometimes tell you a story that's not the accurate story, because there's other things that factor in sometimes that don't have part of the analytical point of view.
That's a legitimate argument that I like. I'm gonna, you know how much I like that? I'm letting you win. I was made for letting you win. I couldn't get any fairer. My favorite song loses, and I will defer to you.
Okay.
Song number 2, Christine 16 off of Love Gun against 2000 Man off of Dynasty. What you got?
I mean, if I compare the two songs, I like both songs.
Yeah.
I like to sing. I love singing 2000 Man. So if I pick the song I enjoy the most, it's 2000 Man.
Okay.
And not for nothing too. It's actually a clear vocal song of Ace too. It's not like a talking song. Ace is actually singing a lot in the song for the most part on the song.
Yeah, it's funny that you bring that up, because a couple songs down the line, and I just paid attention to this, I think for the first time, Shock Me isn't one of those talking songs either. Shock Me, he sings on. But I understand what you're saying, and you've said it before, and you've been right before, that he has kind of a different way of
It's what makes him
doing it.
special, though. It is something that makes Ace special.
Special like he rides on a short bus, or special like.
Nah, listen, when Ace is singing a song, other than New York Groove and Into the Night, when Ace is singing a song, you know it's him. You know what I mean? It's like Ace has a certain what do they call that? You know what I'm talking about.
Gravitas.
Gravitas, but there's actually
No, we used a big word there. Let's run with that.
yeah, gravitas.
But not only did we use a big word, but I can guarantee, again, neither one of us can spell that shit.
I want, yeah, spell check.
Now, I can't give in to 2000 Man against Christine 16 for 2 reasons. The first reason is because 2000 Man is a cover. It's originally written by the Rolling Stones. And the second reason why I cannot let you win this one is because the lyrics in Christine 16 are so cancelable that I have to stick with it.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
actually, I can
usually
use that
say
against you. You
things
got
like
canceled.
this to girls your age, but when I saw you coming out of school that day, I knew I've got to have you. I've got to have you.
So basically,
Songwriters Hall of Fame, Gene Simmons. Thank you.
so
And
what you're so I
good
didn't
night.
realize I was going to win that song that easy.
What?
I didn't realize I was going to win that song that easy.
Which song?
2000 Man versus Christine 16.
No,
You just disqualified it because it's cancelable.
No. You're talking to me. Anything that's cancelable,
It's cancelable.
I'm gonna jump on the bandwagon for.
I'm just trying to make an argument here. I'll give you Christine. I'm just trying to make an argument here.
Okay, you're gonna give it to me, so I'll take one there. Okay, cool.
You're not even going to address that. You're just going to take the win.
I'm just taking the win and moving on. Yes. Yep. Okay, we're good. So we are now at 5-1, I think. No, I can't do that. 5. I don't know. We'll do it afterwards. Number 3, Got Love for Sale versus Sure Know Something. What
Take
you
the
got?
L. Take the L in.
What I
We-
can't take the
You
L
gotta,
and
it's sure no something blows this one out, bro.
you're choosing Sure Know Something.
It's one of Paul. To me, it's one of Paul's best. I love his vocal on this, and I've always loved this song. Again, there's a lot of Kiss fans that hate this song, disco, disco, disco. I love this song, and I don't think "Got Love for Sale" comes close to this song.
Now, I want to tell you something because I'm tired of your shit. You are absolutely right. I love the song. I love the song. It
I didn't know where you
starts.
were going with that.
I know that's why I do what I do. It starts with the bass line. I think there's no argument. Sure Know Something wins by miles in this. Here's a
Good.
tough one. Well, I don't think it's tough, but I wish it was tough. Number 4, Shock Me off a Love Gun versus number 4, Dirty Livin' off a Dynasty. Remember what you just said to me? That goes for you too. Just do it. It's okay. Everybody knows, including you, that Shock Me is the better song. There's no argument. I'm the cat guy.
What's the word? What's the word I use about
Defeat.
well,
That's the word. The
No.
word is defeat.
and you're not even going to try to like figure out what I use.
Figure out what you use?
Impact. I'm
Impact?
going to actually add to impact. Not Dirty Living. I'm giving you Shock Me. My
Okay.
point is, how can I vote against a song that made me want to learn how to play the guitar?
I don't
I
know.
can't vote against Shock Me.
I mean, you're still arguing with me that Neil Peart's name is Neil Peart.
Neil
so
Peart.
I'm
In the
sure
rock
you
and roll world, we already agreed. In the rock and roll world, Neil Peart.
who's
It was a
we?
mic drop. I mic dropped you on that a long time ago, bro.
Wait a minute. Who is we?
You agreed on this. You already told me.
I have never agreed, nor will I. The man himself said that his name is pronounced Peart.
That wasn't the argument. The argument was the rock and roll world knows him as Neil Peart. Me and you could go to a rock concert with all of our peers. Wait, we could go to a rock concert with all of our freaking people. We're going back into this. I can't believe we're doing this again. I can't believe it. We could go to a rock concert and ask 150 people, and out of that 150 people, 70, 85, 90 of them would say Peart.
Choose me, Teach. Choose me. Do I get to speak now?
Sure.
I'll have to remind you, Father Rocco, that we record all of these and I keep all the recordings.
Okay.
At no point did we ever agree on anything that had to do with Neil Peart having his name pronounced like a shampoo. Nothing.
Listen, the one thing that you can look it up. You can look it up. You already acknowledged the fact that the majority of the rock and roll world says it, but if you say your exact words were that, well, regardless of what they say, they're wrong. Doesn't matter. The masses think of him as Neil Peart.
And then the masses would be wrong.
I don't give a shit. It's still what everybody calls him. That was my
How
argument.
do you not
my argument is majority rules, right? My argument is majority calls him Neil Peart. We're not doing a grammar lesson. Majority of the people in the rock and roll world know him as Neil Peart.
All right. You know what?
Period.
You're right, Yanni Matumbo. You're absolutely right.
In the lane of what I'm explaining, I'm right. If we're in grammar school and I have to say the grammatic way to say his name, then it would be what you said. But
Hooligans. You see what I got to deal with every day? I mean, does anybody... If somebody buys a coffee cup, I'll feel much better about this. Okay, number 5. Tomorrow and Tonight off of Love Gun versus Charisma off of Dynasty. What say you, the illustrious Father Rocco?
I personally think it's an iconic Gene Simmons song. I love Charisma, and actually, I think. What song did you enjoy the most in the concert when we went to see Gene this past couple months?
What song did I enjoy the most?
Yeah.
Probably Charisma. But that I mean this is not an argument, but it wasn't hard. I had never heard Charisma live before, and how many more times can I listen to songs like Deuce? I mean, it's kind of hard. Like I don't think I like Charisma. So and let me end this now. I like Charisma. I'm not giving you the win. Charisma wins, in my opinion. I had already like decided Charisma wins. You good with taking that win?
Sure.
All right. Neil Peart.
Or
Next, song number 6. Love Gun off Love Gun versus Magic Touch off of Dynasty. Go ahead, Father Rocco, because I'm fighting for the death on this one.
I'm not gonna fight on it. I love Magic Touch, but it doesn't compare to Love Gun.
You got the magic touch. I think you're taking this the wrong way. I like most songs off of Dynasty. That's what makes this interesting. I would think, well, I don't know. The Hooligans are a little different sometimes than us. Like there are like I'll tell you right now, by this point in the show, Pamplemousse has kicked his television if he's watching it on TV. And I may just
Nodwell thinks I'm nuts again. It's okay.
like Pamplemousse specifically. I've never. I don't think he's ever said it straight out, and I could be wrong, and we could get a comment proving it. But I think Pamplemousse hates Dynasty. I
That's
think he
okay.
hates it.
Hey, not for nothing, guys. This is all opinions. We say it many times. It's all opinions, and hopefully, at the end of the day, hopefully, it's at least entertaining for you. Because we like to give you information. We also like to try to make it as entertaining as possible. While we entertain each other too.
Yeah, I know. I can tell you right now, I'm entertained by this already, and we still got a couple more songs to go. Number 7, Hooligan off of Love Gun versus Hard Times off of Dynasty. Father Rocco?
I refuse to have this conversation on this one.
We're gonna call this a wash.
This is a tough one because, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Our podcast is called Hooligan, right? And I think it's safe to say that if Hard Times isn't my favorite Ace song, it's fighting to get there. It's like at number 2. So if it's okay with you, I'd like to make this one a push.
Oh yeah, I had decided I wasn't going to argue with you on this. I think they're pretty equal.
And
so
if the Hooligans have not heard me say this, I look at Hard Times like it's the lost song because it's Ace being not the spaceman. This song is all about him growing up in the city, and I love the song. It's probably
what made you think that Ace was singing about growing up in the city?
He talks about it. I was like, wait, is that a trick question?
Oh, I love that.
What do you think of this take? I think if the Hard Times was on a different album and not on Dynasty, it would have got more attention.
Dude, if you listen to Hard Times, it doesn't really belong on Dynasty.
It doesn't.
It doesn't sound like the rest of the songs. And I have argued this in the past and will continue to argue this in the future. Dynasty is not a disco record. It has a couple disco-like songs on it, but it is not a disco record like people like to call it. Hard Times is the farthest thing from disco on that record. If you put Hard Times on Love Gun, you probably have hit a home run.
Yeah, it could go on Love Gun. I was thinking Rock and Roll Over too is another one that possibly could go into.
Well, either one of them. They were both produced by the Godfather, Eddie Kramer, the better producer. Oh, okay. Next. Oh, number 8. Almost Human versus X-Ray Eyes.
This is interesting. I'm gonna actually talk about yours first. Almost Human had possibilities of being one of my favorite all-time KISS songs because you've heard me say it ad nauseum how much I like the riff, but it has probably, in my opinion, one of the worst harmony choruses in any KISS song ever.
That's pretty strong words.
To me, that crap hurts the song so much, which actually puts it down a level on the same level as X-Ray Eyes. So I think it's close. If it was reworked, I don't think it would be that close, but I think Almost Human has too many production problems in it. It could be so much better. And who produced that, by the way?
The Godfather.
Yeah, he did a bad job on that one.
See, my problem is I'm not a big fan of X-Ray Eyes.
I've heard you jam to that before.
But I'm not a huge fan of X-Ray Eyes. It doesn't mean
you sing X-Ray Eyes in the shower. Admit it.
No, I don't sing anything in the shower. Okay. And if you want to know why, I'll start singing here again because I think it was last episode that I sang, and everybody now knows why I don't sing. But the bottom line is, if you had to choose, are you choosing Almost Human?
Well, no, I mean, listen.
Or X-Ray Eyes?
Me personally, if I choose between the two of them, it's kind of a push for me. It's equal because I want to listen to that riff, but as soon as I swear to God, that whole Skippy thing, as soon as it starts with that freaking chorus, I can't listen to the song anymore, and I turn it off. X-Ray Eyes, I can listen to it from the start to finish.
I never planned on this. I want to get the win for Almost Human, and you want to get a push for X-Ray Eyes. You know what? I'm going to be overly fair, and I'm going to give you a push. Okay. Number 9, Plaster Caster off of Love Gun or Save Your Love off of Dynasty?
I'm going to tell you something that I don't think you've ever heard me say.
No, boy. If you're going to come out of the closet during a podcast, I'd much prefer it be a live podcast.
Now you got nothing to worry about there. This is tough because it's a song that's a legendary song. Plaster Caster is a legendary song. I like the storyline behind it. I've never liked the song. It's actually a KISS song that I would never skip, but it's definitely not a song that I've ever really gravitated to. And honestly, if I'm being honest too about Save Your Love is kind of like a plain Jane. I like the song, but it's probably the least song on Dynasty that I like out of all the songs. But I like it, but it's my least favorite on them. So it's a tough one for me. I mean, I would give you the nod on Plaster Caster just because, regardless of how I feel about the song, it's a legendary song. It's about the famous groupie. Like there's too much substance behind Plaster Caster for me to take Save Your Love over that. So I'll give you that one.
And the lyrics, I mean, for me,
well, that's kind of what I mean. Like it's a legendary song for the lyrics, the storyline. Yeah.
But for me, the lyrics and the storyline is really what I like. Save Your Love. Let me say that. But at the end of the day, when I got to choose one or the other, like we're doing here, you got to find something that separates them. And to me, what separates them is the gravitas. It's not a song that I normally seek out, but when it plays, I listen to it. And almost like Almost Human. I mean, of course, I did what I do. So I listened to both Love Gun and Dynasty today. And I was, for whatever reason, and I don't know why, but I was kind of into Almost Human today. And I was into a lot of songs. But some songs, and we've had this discussion in the past, some songs, some bands are mood, and some, it doesn't matter the mood.
I'm
Like,
gonna actually, this is on my bucket list to do at some point with other people.
we're going to go skydiving?
No,
Oh,
Almost
good.
Human is a project, a future project for me.
Who are you going to get to play the bongos?
Get a drummer.
Hmm?
I'm not gonna do bongos. I'm making my own version of it. And it's not gonna have any of the Almost Human. It's not gonna have that crap in it.
You do know that's going in the teaser, right?
Yeah, I didn't really think about it as I went to do that.
I know. That's where these things come from.
The joy on your face is priceless.
Uh-huh. Well, you know what? I think the only fair, so Love Gun has 10 songs on it. Dynasty only has 9. So as long as you're good with it, we'll wash. Then She Kissed Me. There's nothing to compare it to. So it either wins because there's nothing and we get an extra point, I get an extra point, or we throw it out and
No, I
make
mean,
it
it's gotta be apples to apples, yeah. It's
okay. Well, there's only one apple there. All right, last one. Stage show versus stage show. The iconic, legendary Love Gun stage show versus the Dynasty cartoon-like costumes and stage show. Which one are you choosing?
I'm choosing the Love Gun one.
You're choosing Love Gun?
Again, my whole argument has been is the album and the music. That's ultimately what I've always clung to when it came to Dynasty. Does it mean
All right.
that I think that their outfits were better or the stage show or my whole basis on Dynasty beating out Love Gun is solely on the album itself and the music and the substance of the music.
I Stole Your Love versus I Was Made for Loving You. I Was Made for Loving You wins. Christine 16 versus 2000 Man. Christine 16 wins. We're tied up 1-1. Got Love for Sale versus Sure Know Something. You win. You're up 2-1. Shock Me versus Dirty Living. Shock Me wins. We're tied up 2-2. Tomorrow and Tonight versus Charisma. You win. You're up 3-2. Love Gun versus Magic Touch. Love Gun wins. We're tied 3-3. Hooligan versus Hard Times. We agreed to push. They're equals. Almost Human versus X-Ray Eyes. We agreed to push. They're almost even. We're tied at 3-3, right?
Yep.
Plaster Caster versus Save Your Love. Plaster Caster wins. I'm up 4-3. So music-wise, we agree Love Gun wins 4-3. I think I guessed beforehand that it would be 5-2, but Love Gun wins. And do you want to add the other ones or do you want to just give it up there?
No, I mean, like I said, I don't know if it, again, it makes for a good episode. Hopefully it's been enjoyable. But again, it's not really an apples to apples type of thing if I'm looking at it the right way. Only because Dynasty was at a different time in the band's. I like it for a lot of different reasons. I don't like it for the numbers. I don't like it for the attention it got. I like it because I like it. You know what I mean? But as far as competing with an album that was in the heyday of the band's pinnacle of their success, you know what I'm saying? It's not going to match the numbers. Producer wise, I just think Eddie Kramer's got more of a cachet than Poncia ever had. So I mean, but if I'm going again, if it's album versus album, to me, Poncia wins those albums against each other.
How do I put this? You like Dynasty for what it is. I don't dislike Dynasty for what it is, but it is always in the back of my head, more for Unmasked than for Dynasty. But if you brought in an Eddie Kramer, if you brought in a Bob Ezrin, what would Dynasty and more, what would Unmasked have sounded like?
You know, but we can't listen. I'm not going to deny how incredible those producers are, but we can agree also that they've gone overboard at times too, with things that were not necessary. That
Sure.
You know, so I mean, they could have.
I mean, they've never done that with Eddie Kramer, but they sure as hell did it with Bob Ezrin. Look, I do the same thing. I do the same thing for The Elder, and wonder, hey, what would The Elder have sounded like if Eddie Kramer was producing The Elder? And for that matter, what would The Elder have sounded like if Vinnie Poncia produced it?
Right. I mean,
or the in my opinion, the dark horse of the KISS producers is what would have been like if Michael James Jackson produced Dynasty, Unmasked, or The Elder.
But
I mean,
and that's why like I kind of go back and forth with like album versus album. If you like an album, Creatures of the Night, like that album stands on its own. It's its own little organism.
Wrap up. Do you have anything you'd like to add to your loss?
The loss is also a game because I love both these albums. That's one of the beauties of loving KISS. Even if I lose this go around, the songs that I competed against are still songs that I love. So it doesn't make a difference. I love it all anyway.
If we do this for all 20 albums, we're both going to say the same thing for all 20 albums.
We didn't get Destroyer 27 times.
Thank God.
Like,
yes.
Right. Like, you know what I mean? Like, again, like Dynasty was a different kind of cat for the rest of their albums.
Yes.
And, but I guarantee you, I told you, there was a week where all of a sudden I'm like, I want to hear Shandy. I'm like, what's going on? What's wrong with me? But that's KISS. Like, to me, that's what makes them my favorite band, because no band has something for me in every mood, any day of the week.
I Was Made for Loving You, Sure Know Something, Dirty Living, Charisma, Hard Times, Save Your Love, all damn good KISS songs. I've never been a big fan of 2000 Man. I don't know why. Magic Touch isn't bad. X-Ray Eyes I'm not a big fan of. But still, there's good songs. Yes, some of them have a disco feel. If you ask me, Dirty Living is the most disco song on that record. And then comes I Was Made for Loving You, studio version.
But you know what? You like Donna Summer, right?
I do.
Right. It's disco. Who cares? I like disco. That's the other thing too. You can be closed-minded and not like certain genres.
But we're speaking to a very, well, I don't know how large our audience is, but it's more than just me and you.
Right.
Some people don't like any other kind of music other than one genre of music. I'll be honest. I feel bad for people like that.
Yeah.
Like Donna Summer comes on, and I'm not adverse to making a complete fool out of myself.
You're gonna boogie.
I'm cool with it, but I've been known to break dance to a New Kids on the Block song here and there.
I was wondering how far you were going to take that.
Hooligans, let us know in the comments. Do you like this? Do you like album versus album? Because personally, I like it. We wanted to switch it up, wanted to do something a little different. We're not going to go on a rant and a run, but I think you're going to see this again, and we're going to see how far Love Gun can go.
And I have a suggestion.
Oh, do I need to get out the suggestion box?
No, the hooligans can put it in the comments, and I think you may like this. If you have an album that you'd like to compete against his Love Gun, put it in the comments.
Hooligans, first question. Do you like this? Do you want to see this again? You won't see Love Gun vs. Dynasty, but you'll see Love Gun versus another KISS album. And second question is, what album would you like to see Father Rocco bring to the ring to challenge Love Gun? Drop it in the comments below. If you're listening to us on any of the podcast platforms, please leave us a review. And if you just found us, check out our past episodes. If you're watching us on our YouTube channel and you like this episode, please consider hitting the like button, just like Father Rocco, who just took the loss, and leaving us a comment. Hit that subscribe button, just like Father Rocco, who's wearing that funky hat, so you don't miss any future episodes. And check out these episodes right here while looking at Father Rocco's dyed goatee. As always, if you made it this far, thank you for supporting us. And don't forget, if it's too loud, you're too old. Peace out, Hooligan Nation.